Hi, my name's Gaye Ward, and here's another episode of Straight to You. So today's Straight to You episode, we're going to be talking about what happens when you dial 911. You dial 911, the first question the dispatcher is going to ask is, are you reporting an emergency? The next question we're going to ask is, where are you located? And hopefully a phone number from you if we can get that information. Now, I understand that calling 911 is a very stressful time in most people's lives. It's an emergency. The best thing to do is to answer the questions that are being asked you by the dispatchers. The first question is obviously to locate you. The next questions, depending on the call and what you are reporting, is going to be to help us to paint a picture for the officers to be able to locate you or the person in which you're calling about.
Well, it's important so that the officers that are being directed to a call actually have the information necessary to, if they need to stop somebody, they have information on what the person did, what he's wearing, what crime he's being suspected of committing.
I also want to talk about when the dispatcher is questioning you, it may seem that they're interrupting you a lot, but the dispatcher is trained to know what type of questions to ask for what type of calls they're receiving. The quicker we can get that information, the quicker we can get it to the officer. The other thing I'd like to cover is the minute you give us an address and what's going on, that call is started. We hear a lot, why are you asking me these questions? You're delaying the response.
And we get it. Oftentimes, the urgency to have an officer get there because they deem whatever's occurring in front of them is an emergency. So they feel like it's time wasted when a dispatcher is trying to ascertain, well, exactly what happened when a person just wants an officer to get there right away. So I can see that frustration, but it's important for the dispatchers to obtain that information to appropriately provide that information to officers so they know what it is that they're responding to.
The minute we have an address and what type of call this is, we start that call. It's already gone to the dispatcher who's dispatching it to officers. The follow-up information will be person's name, their nationality, their age, their date of birth, and what they're wearing, or if a car is involved, what that entails. We are always going to ask questions when feasible, whether anyone in the house has been drinking, using any drug, and we may ask you specifically what type of drug. And we also ask questions about weapons. The questions about weapons are to keep you safe and to keep our officers responding safe. When an officer gets on scene, if no weapons are involved but there's weapons in the house, we'd like to have that information and know where they're located in the house.
The dispatchers are the buffer between the public and the police officer, because the police officer is actually fully dependent on what the dispatcher is initially able to obtain from the person that's calling in, providing information about a suspected crime. So the officer is relying totally on the information and the reliability of that information from the dispatcher. So that is of most importance.
Please do not call 911 if you are reporting loud music, fireworks, people outside drinking, people in the park. 911 emergencies should be used for life or death emergencies. And in closing, I hope this gives you a little bit more education on when you dial 911, why do the dispatchers ask all of these questions, and what do we do with that information, and how do we use it to send it out to the officers in the field. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope everyone's safe out there, and it's nice seeing you. We'll see you on the next Straight to You.